Hey, so, did you see this?
This is how you write.
That was awesome, right? I mean, seriously, this has got to be my favorite short film of the year, with maybe the exception of Real Gone, directed by Seth Worley for Film Right's Epic Summer, which is also something you should have seen. Granted, if you can handle a dark comedy about trying to commit suicide. Anyways, so if it's that awesome, and I believe that this is awesome, so just we're going on that premise, just go with it, then why does the like to dislike bar look like this? Well, the answer should be kind of obvious, and it is depressingly simple. It's because there are gay dudes making out in it. Wait, stop. Look, if you don't like this short, I'm not about to call you a homophobe. Really. Plus, you're still kind of curious about the title, right? I mean, just hear me out, okay? So, at least part of the reaction is almost certainly due to the lack of context. You see, this short is not inserting gayness into places where it doesn't belong for some SJW reasons. Instead, the short is a parody of how most fan fictions are today, which is to say a combination of awesome action pieces that you always wanted to see and smut. So, for those of you who don't know what a slash fiction is, well, it's this, basically. And the fact is that not everyone knows that, and not everyone watched the Hulu show episode that explained this too. So I would assume that a lot of people who were just expecting some lightsaber battle got something else entirely. And if that's not your thing, there's nothing wrong with you, friend. Seriously, what we like is ultimately subjective, so just like you don't have to expect everyone to like Mad Max or Star Wars, you shouldn't be expected to love this either. I do, a lot of other people do, but if you don't like it, that is totally fine. Now for the ugly part. Look, guys, gals, there's really no other way to put it. If you understood the joke that this was being made and still chose to hate it as some sort of gay agenda or betrayal of the fans by RocketJump, I'm sorry, you're being a little close-minded at best. And this is where I get my comparison from. For those of you who don't know them, Linkin started out as a rap rock group during the early 2000s. They became extremely popular from their first two albums, Hybrid Theory and Meteora. These two albums generally had the same feel, a mix of hip-hop beats and rock and roll guitars with brilliant clean vocals, screams, and raps marinating all of it. They remain some of my favorite albums to this day. Then in 2007, their third album, Minutes to Midnight, changed their style drastically with the incorporation of additional styles and genres. Then 1,000 Suns came along a couple years later and basically threw the whole thing into an electric rock rap hybrid that is still the greatest piece of music I've ever listened to. To suffice it to say though, many of the original fans were not happy. Many of them felt betrayed that Linkin Park had gone down the sellout route and refused to do what had made them famous. Even after members of the band tried to explain that they felt their original style just wasn't as fresh and was too easily replicated by other bands. Huh. Sound familiar? Exactly. So, gay people exist. I know, big shocker, right? But you know what? They exist, and so do women. And according to the director Ashley Birch, this short was meant to be a voice for a particular group of people who don't always get that opportunity. Now, I'm not only talking about all gays or all women, but whether intentionally or not, it gives voices to people groups. And sometimes the way the culture works, some voices get heard far louder than others. This is a style of comedy I've almost never seen and was incredibly refreshing. Just for a second, just ask yourself, when was the last time you've heard the words,
It's hot! I'm so wet right now! Ew!
Or,
I like the part where they touch tips ever so slightly and then just exploded jizz all over each other's muscles. Oh my god.
and have them be the funniest lines in the film? No, seriously, think about it for a second. The two funniest lines in this film would almost never be shown in any other form of mainstream media or even most shorts on YouTube. Now ask yourself for a second, why is that? Is it because women are never shown in film? No, obviously that's not true. Is it that women are not the target audience of film? Well, no, that's also just not true. Could it be that the mainstream media that makes film has a certain perception of men and women that leads them to conclude that most people will not find these lines funny because of a preconceived notion in the culture that women are supposed to be pure? I would say that's a pretty likely reason, and several of my friends, both men and women who I've talked to, have agreed with me. And that's why I think that those of us who are reacting to this short love it so much. It's not that we're trying to push the gay agenda, whatever the hell that means this week. It's that this particular brand of humor is both gut-busting funny and drastically underutilized in the mainstream media, even here on YouTube. Also, a quick side note, the film is essentially a combination of exhilarating action and shameless exploitation of the male form. Man, could you imagine if we did that to women? Ahem. That would just be awful. Well, here's the good news, everyone. The ones that are angry with this new direction RocketJump is taking will eventually leave, and the new fans who continue to love their work will take their place. RocketJump has lost a lot of subscribers over the past month due to this and the Chicky Boo stunt, both of which I personally found some of the funniest things I've seen all year for the record, but as a whole, they've gained far more subscribers than they've lost, so don't worry. It's gonna be okay. That's what I think, in my honest opinion. Oh, and by the way, this is the freaking directorial debut of Ashley Birch. You have any idea how hard directing is? Directing is hard. It's really, really, really damn hard. And the fact that she pulled it off so well on the first try is nothing short of incredible. Well done, Miss Birch. Well done. Hey guys, thank you for watching. So yeah, I know this wasn't exactly a non-controversial subject, so I would actually love to know what you think in the comments down below. Please keep it a little bit civil though. I mean, I know that's hard to ask YouTube comments to do that, but just please settle down. If you want to see another episode I did last week where I tackle the Hunger Games, don't forget to click here. And if you want to see another show I do called The Good, the Bad, and the Story, called The Good, the Bad, and the Story, where I break down movies and TV shows, including this one right here, you can hit that link right there. That's one where I talk about the first episode of this series of RocketJump the show. So yeah, check it out. See you guys next time.